Good afternoon, students, and welcome to day 2 of the student orientation. I'm David Hopstad. I'm going to be the program director for today. I hope you guys joined us yesterday, and if you didn't, not a problem. Please do see the link for the YouTube channel, and our recording is there as well. So please hop along and go have a look at it. There's a lot of information that we shared with you yesterday, and today we are going to continue. Now, as a student, we know studying in a distance education university like ours requires a lot of support and help. And we are basically going to be telling you about all the different services that you can get as a student. I'm not alone. I'm with a team of colleagues that are helping in the background and also will be presenting to you. So we are really here for you guys. So as we go through, we are going to be sharing lots of information. So don't panic if it is too much information. As I said, we do have a YouTube channel that you can then go back to and watch it nice and slowly and pause it and get all the contact details and things that you may need. So we are really looking forward to this session. It's very jam-packed, guys. I'm just going to show you. This is what we covered in day 1. So you can see it was quite a busy day. And now, of course, we're moving on to day 2. So again, you can see, but today we're really looking at support services. So this is critical for you and your success. And that's why we have got all these experts here to come present to you today to ensure that you are not going to be left behind. Also, guys, please do use the Q&A to send your questions. If you have some burning questions that you really want to ask, the team will be answering those questions as well. So we are really looking forward to this session. And to get us going, I'm going to invite the library up. So understanding your library services. So this is critical, obviously, if you're going to have to do some research in finding documents in books. This is definitely something you need to know from the get-go. So I'm going to hand over to Ms. Mahadi Senyanyo for her to present to us about the library services. Over to you, Mahadi. Mahadi, you're currently muted. Can you share your presentation? Okay, Godfrey, it doesn't look like I'm actually getting her. So let me share it from my side. Okay, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem that she's connected. All right, in that case, colleagues, we'll come back to the library. So I think we might just need to move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be a video from our colleagues at the, let me just quickly go and check from this, but of course I just need to say who they are. So it's basically from the colleagues of Understanding Tutorial Services available at Unisa and understanding your role as a student in module evaluation. So the colleague has sent us this wonderful video that we're going to share with you guys. So as soon as we are ready, Godfrey, I think we can play that video, and then after that we will try again to get hold of the library, Ms. Mahadi.
Good afternoon, students. Hope you are as excited to be part of this session as I am. My name is Salome Mamadisa. I'm from the Directorate Instructional Support and Services from the Tuition Support Division. Today, we're going to focus on 2 areas which is the integrated tutor model. I'm going to try to explain what this is, as well as student module evaluations, your role as a student in these student module evaluations. So the integrated tutor model, it means that tutorials are not an isolated activity, but are an integral part of mainstream teaching and learning within Unisa. It is for that reason that we are saying they're integrated. They're also integrated into curriculum design, meaning that tutorials are an activity that has been built into curriculum during the curriculum design phase. And tutorials are meant to provide a student interaction with the content, as well as a student interaction with the tutor, as well as tutor interacting with the content. All quality aspects, quality assurance aspects have been embedded into the ITM, meaning the tutors that we appoint to offer you tutorials have gone through a vigorous selection process. They have been trained to make sure that they teach, they have the necessary teaching skills. They're also monitored to make sure that indeed they deliver the content that is expected of them, and they are also evaluated at the end of every semester. But the people who are responsible for this evaluation are you, the students. So it's very important that you really own up this learning process, so that at the end of the day, you are able to have a say and share your experience with us as far as tutoring is concerned. And we also have two modes of tutoring. We have what we used to call only face-to-face mode of tutoring, but now we also call it virtual tutoring, virtual synchronous tutoring, because this happens while you're there, unlike e-tutoring. And remember, both of these take place online, but with e-tutoring, it happens asynchronously. You don't necessarily have to be there. Discussions do take place, a lot does take place, and then you can log on at any time and carry on with whatever is taking place online. And then, whereas with face-to-face, it's a scheduled session. You have to be there. But it's also online. It is a virtual session. But the difference between the face-to-face and e-tutoring is that for face-to-face, the tutorials are offered for the at-risk modules, and students have to register. They have to go to the Unisa website. Here is the link, and register for the modules. And these, they're offered through MS Teams. Like I said, they're scheduled. They're usually scheduled on Saturdays or weekdays, but weekdays has to be in the evenings. So once you've registered and the classes are scheduled, you'll get an email via your MyLife account. Remember, MyLife is the university's official mode of correspondence. You will not get your email via your private account or any other account, but the official one, which is the MyLife account. Yes, we know that students do forward their MyLife email through to their other, like their private accounts, but all the communication from you must come through via MyLife. We also communicate with you via MyLife. So everything that we try to communicate with you is going to be through MyLife, not any other email account. So it's very, very important that you claim. Otherwise, you claim your email account. Otherwise, you are going to miss out on communication from the university. And e-tutoring, we're saying it's a default mode of tutoring and happens automatically. What happens here is that once you've registered, after a while, maybe from late February, March, you might receive an email, an SMS or email that says you have been grouped to a tutor. So it happens, you don't have to go and register your interest in this one. It happens automatically. And then it takes place on my Unisa learning management system. Like I said, it's ongoing. You participate in the discussion forums and many other activities. I'm using discussion forums as an example. There you go and log on to the My Unisa e-tutor site. That's where the activities and the teaching takes place. The purpose of the ITM is really to help you succeed so that at the end of the day, you graduate. It is there to support, give you guidance, ensure that you stay through your learning journey. You don't drop out. You're there from the beginning up to the very end. We understand that it can be very difficult. It can be lonely. The road might seem very long. Hence, we have tutors for you to help you through this process, because ultimately what we want to see from you is to see you graduate. We also have benefits of tutoring. These include encouraging a high level of thinking. Remember, you'll be having discussions with other students, discussions with your tutor, interrogating the study material, sharing what you have learned, sharing your opinions, your thoughts. It also increases your subject-specific knowledge, promotes self-regulated learning, improve communication skills, and enhance academic success. And another thing, remember, it is a free service. So really, the benefits of the ITM is to provide you with opportunities for social integration as you get along with other students, your peer students, your tutors. It gives you that sense of belonging. And then it also assist with academic success. That's what I suppose you're here for, and that's what we would also like to see happen. The role of the tutors are pedagogical, which means that it's the role that is involved in teaching and learning. Tutors can be our first point of contact. You may get to know your tutor first before you even know your lecturers. They're there to facilitate the interaction, the learning. They're there to moderate the discussion, to make sure that whatever is taking place online, the discussion, there is no bullying, there is nothing like that, and also respond to your queries, etc. And they also have this social role. This is a role that at least responsible for making you feel at ease, as you interact with your peers, so that the environment is not, the online environment, either on Teams or on your learning management system, is not daunting. And they also have this responsibility of making sure that they plan their lessons. And they also have a technical responsibility of making sure that sorry for that, and making sure that they familiarize you with the learning environment, so that at least you are able to navigate your Unisa or Teams. So the second thing that I had mentioned earlier was that we are going to talk about the student module evaluations. Module evaluations are carried out at least 3 times per year for each of the semesters. For the first semester, carried out through, at the end of the second semester, also at the end of the year modules. And then what happens here is that you'll receive invitations, again through My Life email accounts, to participate in module evaluations. So this means that depending on the modules that will be identified for evaluations or selected for evaluation, you may find that you receive 1 invitation or 2 invitations or 3 invitations. So if you receive 3 invitations, is that from your list of modules, there are 3 modules that must be identified, evaluated. There might be 2 modules that must be evaluated, or it might be 1. So don't be alarmed, don't be dismayed. It's for each of your modules. You will be able to identify which modules, because it states to say, for this, please evaluate this module or that module. So this is a very important exercise, because we take your voice into consideration. Your voice, it's important. It plays a role when it comes to curriculum development. What you say is important, as well as colleges. From what you shall have said, they're going to take this. If there are areas that needs to be improved, they also put together improvement plans. And so it is very, very important that you get involved, so that we get to hear your voice, and you also get to say your say. My presentation, okay, I was about to say it ends here, okay. There are also important skills that you must have for you to be able to successfully complete your studies within Unisa, because remember, we said it's an e-learning. We said it's an all-down learning environment. So there are certain skills really that you must have, like your basic technical skills. Otherwise, how would you navigate My Unisa? How would you claim My Life account? How would you participate on Teams? So I'm taking it that you already have those skills, because you are part of this session. And there's also the reading and writing skills that you must have. You must also be able to collaborate with other students, and again, be able to work on your own. You must have the critical thinking skills, and to be able to evaluate and reflect on what you have learned. You must have cultural and social skills. Remember, you'll be interacting with people that you don't know, people who are from different backgrounds or cultural backgrounds from you. You must have the ability to explore, research, want to find out more, and also have the ability to manage your time very well, and also be able to remain motivated throughout the stay of your studies within Unisa. This is one of the things that most students grapple with. So we encourage you that you participate in the support services that Unisa offers you, so that you get to interact with other students, you get opportunities to collaborate, and that will help you to remain motivated. So students, that was the end of my presentation. Thank you.
All right, students. So next will be the library with Machadi Sionyolo, she's going to now present. So Machadi, I hope you're ready and we can hand over to you.
Thank you, David. Just getting my presentation together, and good afternoon, colleagues and all the Unisa students. Will tell me if you are able to see my presentation, David.
All right, we'll let you know as soon as it's visible.
Okay, thank you. I must say I'm in the other vicinity at the Northwest University, so I had asked for a space to go through this presentation, and so I was still cut off with at the beginning. So is it still?
No, it's not coming through yet. Maybe let me share it from my side, and then you can just continue.
Please do, David. Let me stop from this side. It's taking long. Thank you. Just a brief of just greeting you. Otherwise, I'm going to switch off my video because of the other people's bandwidth. But thank you, David. I can see the presentation now. All right, you can move to, as I already greeted, you can move to the next slide. And I want to say welcome to the Unisa Library, the largest academic library in Africa, not only in Africa, but the largest university in the land. By Unisa Library, throughout my presentation, I will be referring to all Unisa Library branches and regions. We have a team of dedicated librarians who are available to assist you. This library orientation is to provide you with information on how to access the library services, electronic resources, and collections. We have Unisa libraries that are found in all regional offices of Unisa, and it consists of 13 branches across the country, including one in Ethiopia. Next slide, please. These are the Unisa branches and regional libraries in Cape Town, Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, Johannesburg, Florida, which is referred to as the Science Library, East London, Gqeberha, the KZN, and Ekurhuleni, and also have in Polokwane, Nelspruit. We've got the main campus in Pretoria, Muckleneck, Rustenburg, Graduate School of Business, SBL, and Sunnyside. These are all our regional offices. So what are our current library hours? The library opens at 7:45 until 4 o'clock, Monday to Friday. We, at the moment, unfortunately, not open on Saturdays, which we used to, but we still not yet opened on Saturdays. And in December, we open at 8 instead of 7:45, at 8 to 4 for all libraries except Ethiopia, East London, Florida, and SBL. And during public holidays, all libraries are closed. And in the Saturdays during December, they are also closed. And we also close in between Christmas and New Year. These are some of the collection that is available in the library. We've got the study collection where you can come in and then help yourself from the shelves, and also have some space to sit around and study or read. We also have the journal collection that you are also available in the library, the audiovisual collection, and so on. And we also have the open shelf or research reference material. And we do have the archives and special collection. And this section or collection is only available at the Muckleneck campus. Where do you then begin in all of this? You have to log in into the university website, And then on the university website, then you just click on library. And that is the address, as you can see there. And then this is the home page for the library. That's where you begin. In whatever that you're looking for, whether they're articles or books, you then have to be on this page. So in order for you to access the library resources, your library password is the same password you receive when you claim your MyLife email address and when you join my Unisa. In the library, when you request or renew books, or when you open a database or an ebook or an article, it will prompt you to put in your password, which is your my Unisa password. So you can have it handy all the time when you are able to. There is a link that you can follow should you not have claimed it already. But I know there's another department that have taken you through or will still be taking you through to how you claim your My Unisa password. These are some of the library services that we have. We've got the Salmon Discovery Tool, which is an exciting new way of accessing library online resources. This includes e-journals, e-books, videos, newspaper articles, print books, and many more. Salmon also allows you, as you search, it allows you to refine your search further. You can then use the filters such as your discipline or your subject terms. It also allows you to change the content from, say, for example, you were searching for a book, you can change it to search for a journal and so on. You can also access the Unisa Library catalog on AirPack. What is an AirPack? It's actually a mobile application or mobile app, which is a software application designed to run on smartphones, on tablets, and any other mobile devices. And you can also be able to access the Unisa Library on those mobile devices anywhere on the go. Now, there are electronic reserves, and these are materials that are prescribed or recommended for your course by your lecturer. It includes journal articles, law cases, and chapters from books. You are able to access these electronic reserves or e-reserves by course code or title. But please note that you need an Adobe Reader to view recommended materials in PDF format. You need to understand that these e-reserves are the books that you request online first before you could obtain them. Then as an undergraduate student or first year student, you are entitled to take up to 8 items, including audiovisual, for 21 working days. You are, as a postgraduate student, as you move on with your studies, or some of you might be postgraduate, you are entitled to take up to 16 items for 42 working days. And for the short learning course, you can take up to 4 items. But please note that loan periods differ according to the type of library material that you might want to borrow, or whether items were issued by post. In other words, these days it will be by courier or being borrowed in person. Now, how do this material get delivered to you? As soon as you request them, as soon as you borrow them from the library. Unisa Library uses 2 ways to deliver your requested books or devices. It can use one, the courier, to a preferred address. That means we are no longer using post office, so we courier the books to your address, and where you can also track the status of your parcel on or via my Unisa if you haven't received it. And the second way is to use any of the Unisa partner libraries. After taking all those materials, and perhaps they've delivered them to you, or you have taken them in person from the libraries, you haven't finished reading them, you need to continue using them. You can renew or extend a period of loan And how do you do that? The following are ways that you can extend the period of loan for the material that you have. One, via online, using the catalog. And the second one, you can use your mobile device. And the other one, you can use the library app. And the fourth one, you can use, or you can just call the library at that number, 429-3313. Or you can just go to your nearest branch library to renew your books. But please note that renewals will not be granted if there's a hold on the item or if there is an outstanding library fine. Only 2 renewals are allowed online. Items that cannot be renewed must be returned to the library immediately because other people will be waiting for that. Now, after you have taken the books out, the books have been couriered to you, and then you have renewed them for some instance where you still want to use them. But now is the time that you need to return the books, to bring the books back to the library. Library material may be returned in person at the main campus, McClunach Library, or you can return the books at any of the branch libraries. As I've indicated or alluded to them, you saw the nearest library that you might be nearer to you, or you can courier them to the Unisa library. Books that cannot, but remember that books can also be returned using the self-check-in machine available at the library entrance. And you have to keep your receipt safe so that it serves as a proof that you have returned the book. But currently at the McClunach campus in particular, the self-check-in machine is not in good working condition. But you are liable for the cost of returning library material via the post or the courier in this instance. If you do not return library material on time, that is the date that has been stamped in your book, then you'll be liable for the fine. Books may not be posted in the assignment boxes. All audiovisual material should be returned in separate parcels that are clearly marked for attention audiovisual collection. Of course, we have to observe the copyright and plagiarism as we are students studying at the university, because all academic work, written or otherwise, submitted by you as a student, it is expected to be the result of your own work, because the university view acts of copyright infringement and plagiarism as a serious offense. Of course, you might be aware of what plagiarism is all about, which is the act of taking words, ideas, and thoughts of others and presenting it as your own. It is the form of theft, which involves a number of dishonest academic activities. And as a student, if you don't adhere or follow the plagiarism rules or values, you may be in trouble at the end of the day. I think there's another colleague that covers that in full. Otherwise, you can also you are advised to study the disciplinary code that appears in your Study at Unisa brochure, especially chapter 3, 1.19. Then you can read all about what the university's policy and copyright infringement and plagiarism is all about. You must use the information ethically for all your written assignments and research projects. The ethical use of information does not only reflect a person's integrity, but it is also mandated by law. This may lead you failing in your studies and in a serious instances which you may be punished or fined. So it is very important to know how to prevent plagiarism. We have the library tour that you can view online on the YouTube, on the link that is provided there. But also bear in mind that a new update of the YouTube will be uploaded soon. Otherwise, where you can find us, you can log on to the university library website, www.unisa.ac.za/library. You can use the library mobile app, which is downloadable from the iStore or Google Play. You can also follow us on facebook.com//Unisa Library, or you can follow us on Twitter, on twitter.com/Unisa Library. Otherwise, For more information or to get up-to-date information about the library services, please access or visit guides on subject-specific guides or more of your studies, and that's where you can get more of your studies and research on when you use the LEAP guides. That's a one-stop shop that encompasses all the services that the library offer. Thank you so much, but feel free to visit any Unisa library branch by logging online anytime, anywhere, 24/7. And thank you for listening. We're looking forward to be of service to you. But remember, we are available should you need any further assistance. I want to end by saying happy reading and happy searching, and best of luck with your studies. Thank you.
Thank you, Makhadi. That was very impressive, guys. Thank you also for your flexibility moving around between the different venues, because you're currently off campus, and as you indicated, you're at the Northwest University. So we really do appreciate that. Students,
Thank
as you can see,
I wish I could be with you throughout. May I be excused, please?
Yes, no problem, Makhadi. We understand that you're traveling, and travel safely. And we'll hear from you next week. So thanks, students. So to move along in the program, so we've had quite a lot of information already that you guys would have seen. We've dealt with the library and we've looked at tutorial services. Next, we are going to look at an overview of the academic support services in the regions. So this is also now a very critical resource that students, you need to be aware of. COVID has thankfully moved on, so these venues are available. There are staff there. There's lots of services that you can get at your nearest campus that you can definitely use to do your studies and to hopefully pass well. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Korombi, who's going to then speak to you guys about the regional services. Mr. Korombi, over to you.
Colleagues, good afternoon. My name is Mbodi Korombi. I hope you can see me, or you can see my slide now. Is it visible?
Yes, we can. Can you just put it in run mode, please? Presentation mode? There we go. Perfect.
Okay. Good afternoon, students and colleagues. I'm going to be representing the head facilitation of learning, or the regions. At the end of my presentation, there are two things that I want you to have learned. If you can just remember where the regional office is and all the services that are provided by the regional office, I'll be the happiest person. If we look at the regional office footprint, starting on the right-hand side, KwaZulu-Natal, we've got an office in Durban, Pietermaritzburg, Newcastle, Richards Bay. Eastern Cape, we've got an office in East London, Tata, and Port Elizabeth. Western Cape, Cape Town, and George. If you come up in the top left corner, Midlands, which covers Rustenburg, Bloemfontein, Kimberley, Potchefstroom, Kronstadt, and Mahikeng, Gauteng, Pretoria, Florida, Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, Vaal, Northeastern, Polokwane, Giyani, Mbombela, and Middleburg. These are the places where you need to go if you're looking for services face-to-face. The services are supposed to be the same. What you get in Pretoria, you should be able to get similar service if you are in Mbombela or in the Eastern Cape. These are the role of the region is, regions are placed in areas that are closer to the students across the country. They bring the university closer to the students. Regional offices reach students regardless of their geographic location. Regional offices create a positive learning experience for students. Regional offices facilitate student success by providing professional, administrative, and academic support. If we look at the journey that you're going to go through as a registered student, this will start with your application. Okay, this stage you have already passed. After the application, we were supposed to have given you a pre-registration orientation. During this period, we show you how you can learn at Unisa, what Unisa expects from you. If you are happy, okay, you are happy because you have already registered. You will continue and register. Now we're talking to you after registration. We are giving you post-registration orientation. We're telling you of the services that you're going to get from different Unisa offices. This is post-registration offices, which is conducted from the central office, what we are doing now. You will be invited for a post-registration orientation service from your office, the nearest office, the office that is nearest to you. You may also be invited by the college to come for another orientation where they will be talking about academic-related matters, subject-specific matters with you. After that, we expect you to continue with your learning journey. This learning journey will be done through ICT. Therefore, there will be support that is provided by facilitation of learning. This support could be in the form of tutorial classes, academic literacy support. There will be support, or you'll be expected to use the library services. As the previous presenter has just done, this can be done online. You can visit also the offices that they've mentioned. We also have counseling services that you could have used before, while you are learning, and after you have completed your qualification. Along the way, when all of this learning is taking place, we will expect you to also submit assignments. You will also be evaluated summatively at the end of each semester. Somehow, somewhere, there are also continuous assessment whereby the examination is not done at the end of the semester. This is part of learning. And when you have completed the part of learning, we expect you to graduate. And after graduating, you're going to be an alumni. You're going to be supporting us with the alumni support. You join the chapter that is nearest to you. All these services that I have mentioned on the left-hand side. Okay, colleagues, can you assist me, please? Okay, the services that I mentioned, you can get them from the regional office. If you go to the regional office, we have uninterrupted power supply. We have got generators. If the power is out, it will kick in, and then you can continue to do whatever you want to do. You can also access computer labs. Students that do not have access to gadgets, they can visit our office. We've got a computer lab. You can use the computer lab at no cost, as long as it's normal working hours. We also have study space. You can come and use our study space during the day, normal working hours, 8 up to 4 o'clock. You can study during the examination. Sometimes it is extended, or there are certain offices where they extend until 8 or whichever time. We also have free Wi-Fi. That means computer lab, free Wi-Fi. If you have your own gadget, you can come to the center, you can access the electricity, and then you can use the internet free Wi-Fi. If we look at some of the services that we are offering, the first one will be the e-tutoring. This is done and organized by the colleges themselves. They appoint people who are qualified to support students, and they given different modules that they will support you in. The e-tutor will work with you while you are learning the module that you are learning. You will bounce something with them. They will send some activities to you. You need to interact with them. You learn online. The second one is the face-to-face tutorial, which is also offered by technology. We no longer have a face-to-face classroom setting tutorial classes. It is done using MS Teams. It's offered to selected high-risk modules. There is also recording of all the presentation that is done by MS Teams, and that presentation will be posted on my Unisa or on this regional project site. Unfortunately, we do not have any module that is running for this semester or for this year. Therefore, there isn't any face-to-face running. If we continue to look at the services that the regional offices are offering, there is academic literacy support that the regions are providing. This is divided into 3 aspects. The The first one is reading and writing. Reading and writing is language-based. This is the place where you learn how to construct sentences, how to write assignment in an academic way as at the university level, how to reference correctly. This is the place where you will learn all those aspects. The second one is quantitative literacy. This is based on numbers. That means you learn how to incorporate formulas, how to understand formulas, how to interpret numbers. Many of us are struggling in this area, and then we can be assisted in that side. The third one is research writing for postgraduate students. Students that have registered for research modules, if they want to do the proposal, if they want somebody to assist them with referencing in text, referencing at the end of the chapter, referencing at the end of whatever they are writing, this is the place where they come. All those three programs that I have mentioned, if you have problems and you think you need support, you are welcome to approach the office, request a one-on-one session. They are given out in a form of scheduled sessions. However, students that are struggling with specific aspects, they can also approach the regional office. When you look at the schedule that has been given, that has been shared with you, and the topic that you would like assistance in is not covered, you are allowed to request the facilitator or the office to book you a facilitator. The facilitator will assist you, will work with you. If you have material that you have written, before you submit it to the academic staff, you want to bounce it with somebody, and a person that is qualified, either a reading and writing person or a quantitative literacy person or the research support person, you can request that the office look at it, and then they support you, they edit it all, and then they give it back to you. You submit it to the facilitator. These services that are offered by well-qualified, experienced facilitator. We are offering them this time in a subject-specific way. That means college-based. That means we appoint a reading and writing facilitator that has got a law qualification to support students that are registered for law degree qualification. If you are registered for an engineering qualification, our academic reading and writing person will be coming from the engineering field. That's what we are saying when we say subject-specific support. You can also arrange one-on-one consultation. I think I've mentioned that one. Support is offered on MS Teams. Almost everything that I have mentioned, you get them through Teams. We're working online, we're using technology this time. Regional office also develops schedule. They will share the schedules of activities that they are running with you based on the office where you are. That means if you are in Polokwane, people will share with the students that are registered for law for these activities that they will be doing with law students. You need to find that schedule, and then you participate on those activities. All students are encouraged to attend the sessions or check the programs. If you think you will not benefit, don't attend, but do not stop attending because you do not know that the services are there. Know about the services, decide not to attend because you think you will not benefit. The other activities that we are doing as regional offices, we are expected to support first-time entering students in order to be successful. The idea is that when students are successful, they will be able to be retained in the system. That's what we are doing. Regional offices need to increase the retention level of students that are coming in. Usually the first year, because it's the changes between matric or school level and the university, the gap is big. Therefore, students tend to fail to adjust. Therefore, they need more support. We have started a national research project here in order to support the students. The name of the project is Use of an Early Alert System to Enhance Student Support Towards Improving Retention and Academic Performance. We're using learning analytics in order to identify students that are considered to be at risk of not succeeding, of dropping out. Then we give them the support so that they do not drop out, they do not fail. After each registration, the list of at-risk students will be generated. They will receive a request or an invitation to participate in the session. The programs are divided into two aspects or two sections. There is a generic training. The generic training here, we're looking at training that is required by all students in order to adjust to an ODEL learning. Training such as technical way of learning, the accessing of the portal where you are learning, how to claim my Unisa, where is the assignment placed, how do I check the due date for the assignment, and where the module knowledge is. The second part is the subject-specific training that we are also offering. This will be offered in a form of 2 sessions. The first 2 sessions will be focusing on assignment. The second 2 sessions will be focusing on reflection. The last 2 sessions will be focusing on examination preparation. The idea is all the other programs that I have indicated earlier on the 2 slides behind, where they were talking about academic literacies, they are still continuing. However, students that are registered, that are registered for modules that are considered as at risk, will also have additional sessions that I am talking about, the subject-specific session and the generic sessions. This is an add-on. Students are also encouraged to participate. We request that you complete the consent form. You also complete our survey that we will issue out. This will assist us to know other areas that you need support, training in, because what we have put in there is what we think you need support in. However, if you complete our survey, we will know exactly what you need to support on. This is the research project that I've just spoken about. The research is based on learning analytics. Your participation will contribute and contribution will be required. We really encourage students to come and participate. The university is known to have a high failure rate. We're putting out all the mechanisms to support you so that you do not fail. We request that you come and participate. Invitation will be shared from your regional offices, and from our side, that's all that we can do. We just want you to come and participate in all the activities that we are doing. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. Krombe, much appreciated. So students, there you have it. There is lots of resources sitting there, free Wi-Fi, generators to keep electricity running, so you would easily be able to update all your devices, but also get support from the colleagues that are right there on campus. We've got experts in all sorts of areas that you can easily access. All right, without further ado, let's move on with the program. And next up is going to be Ms. Martha Nyandi and Ms. Dominic Molokwane, where they're going to be speaking to you about understanding and participation in online exams. So this is quite an interesting topic that they're going to unpack for us. And it really is something that you need to start thinking about already, even though we're just starting the semester. So I'm going to hand over to Martha and the team. Over to you, colleagues.
Good afternoon, colleagues, and to our students. As you will have to pardon me, I don't know if you can hear the voices behind. I'm not in
just a little bit, it's not too bad.
I'm not in a quiet place. I'm actually visiting a region, so it's an open place. It's open office, so I'll try by all means to hurry up my presentation so that you can hear, can deliver the message that I'm supposed to deliver for today. Thank you very much to the organizers for this opportunity for us as a DSA to come through and deliver this presentation during this orientation. As I've said, my name is Maki Nyandeni. I'm from the Student Directorate, Student Assessment and Administration. Just a point of correction to say that Mr. Molokwani will not be doing a presentation now, but will preserve it for later sessions when we are heading towards the examination. So what I'm going to talk about today is about a formative assessment, which is about the submission of assignments. As we know that before the students actually write their examination, they must submit their assignments. So it's a very important part of their learning. As an introduction, I just want to say that assessment is an integral part of teaching and learning. So the students have to be assessed to show that they have achieved the level of competency required to pass a module. And we know that, every student, whenever you register, you want to know about your assignments as well as the examination. So it's a very important part of learning because you will be assessed on what you have achieved throughout the year, or in this instance, the semester. Also to mention that our assessment is based on assessment strategy as well as aligned to the ODEL policy. And we are also aligned to other teaching and learning policies as we assist our students with this responsibility that they have as they have embarked on taking their studies. Just the type of assessments that we have. We do have formative assessment, which is all our assignments that we have, the students have to do before they qualify for the examination. We also have our summative, which is our actual examination, which we know currently is online, as well as we do have continuous assessment. I will explain more on continuous assessment because it's a new way of assessment within the institution. The assignment as well, the exam, is something that we are familiar with, and it has been done traditionally within our institution. But we have recently introduced continuous assessment, which is a very important part of learning for our students. So for formative assessment, we're talking about the normal assignment, which mostly is file upload, meaning that the student will go onto their tutorial matter and then they will also go onto their online learning platform. I saw that later on, there is going to be a presentation on our online platforms, the learner management system. So with this type of assignments, the normal assignments, the student writes whatever they write, they type, and then at the end, they come and they upload their assignments. With the MCQ1, it's a multiple choice. The student have to be logged onto the system in order to take their assessment. So internet accessibility is very important because the student, once you log on, you have to be logged on, you have to finish your assessment. You can maybe do it halfway, go and come back and then complete it, but you have to be online all the time. So the way it is, it's a randomized MCQ, multiple choice, whereby even if we are in the same class as students, we are going to be asked different questions based but on the same learning material. So that's why I'm saying that once you are there, it's randomized questions and students have an opportunity to complete the questions that are assigned to them. We also have what we call discussion forum. So the student have to log on and you post your comment onto the system. And then also we've got external assessment, where like students that are registered for EUP 1501, they have to register themselves and they must be linked onto the IT lab. So as soon as you are registered as a student, you will get communication from your department as to how do they register you onto my IT lab in order for you to start doing your assignments. And then we've got summative assessments, and this one is the exam timetable. That one will come at a later stage towards the end of the semester. Currently, preparations are underway, and you will be informed at a later stage. If you can look, the dates and everything have not been committed to the student as yet, but it will come at a later stage. And then you also have your portfolios. These portfolios, your project and your practical, they come on the tutorial later. And these ones, we are not going to be is not on the timetable like sitting down and writing, but it is a project that you will do on the side, and then at the end of the day you will get the instructions as to what are you going to report on and what are you going to submit on the system. I know sometimes for project you will have to write a project, a report after conducting your project, and that is what is submitted. But with all this, you do get your information from your tutorial letter as well as from your lecturers as you interact with them once you are registered for the course. And then we come to continuous assessment. The name continuous assessment is an illustration of something that continues, meaning that once you are registered for the module and you understand that it's continuous assessment, it means that you are going to see assignments only. That module doesn't have a final examination the way we are used to, but all those assignments that you get, they will accumulate to your final mark. So with continuous assessment, actually, by the time we come to the end of the semester, you have already know whether you have passed the module or if you haven't passed the module based on your assignments that you have already submitted. So sometimes this continuous assessment is implemented through tests, what we call major tests, and this is specifically for engineering students. So if you are an engineering student, you must also be on the lookout for communication from the department, where they will orientate you further concerning these tests, as well as these tests are invigilated remotely. You have to use an invigilator app, but that will be done when the roadshows are being conducted to explain to the students how it works. Especially this one is for engineering students. And also you do have the multiple choice questions, which also can form part of continuous assessment. So continuous assessment is, in essence, is a combination of assignments, tests, as well as a multiple choice. So you will get the communication from your lecturers as to the type of assignments that you need to submit for every module. So the assessment structure, as we are referred to it now, you need to know the weights of each assessment, meaning that an assessment will have a weight, know what is the weight and how it contributes towards the final mark. You know if the assessment is mandatory, compulsory, or elective, because that will actually help you to understand what is required of you. You must also know which assignments are important for you to get examination admission, because that is also important. Also, you need to know your module, your final exam, whether it's in timetable or it is out of timetable. That all is communicated on your module side as well as is communicated on the tutorial later. Okay, with continuous assessment, as I said, that it's a continuous assessment. It's a accumulation of your assessment. Then your year mark becomes your final mark. And there you've got compulsory as well as a mandatory assessment. There is no formal examination. Also, there is no supplementary with continuous assessment. So for the School of Engineering, as I said, that they do have the continuous assessment. Those assessments are invigilated, and if you didn't if you didn't use IRIS, you're not going to get a mark for it. And there's no supplementary, there's no aggregate. But as I said, that you will get further information when they will do the roadshows for engineering students, and as well as there is support throughout your assignments, throughout your tests. So don't panic and think that you won't be able to make it. As DSAA, together with the lecturers as well as our contact center, we are there to provide the necessary support for our students. So here is just an example of continuous assessment in a School of Engineering, whereby you've got your assignments contributing 15% each, as well the major test, and then you write 3 major tests, and then 2 of the best tests are taken in order to calculate your final mark. But as I said, don't panic about it, because once the semester starts, then you will get more orientation concerning your engineering modules. Then the assignment submission process, as you know, you will submit your assignment, on the relevant platform, it will be marked and you'll get feedback. And then from there, the marks are synced to your record. And then you can be able to see your marks, your year marks as you go along based on your assignment marks. And then at the end, the year mark is calculated, and then you will get your examination admission. So even with that, the lecturer will tell you, for you to gain admission to the exam, you need to have submitted an assignment, or whether it's 2 assignments or more, or whether you need to have a year mark in order for you, a percentage in order for you to gain admission to the examination. And then just the submission, I won't go more on this. You submit on the right platform, which is my modules on my Unisa. And then please make sure that you verify your content before submitting, not after marking. And if you submit the wrong a submission before closing dates, just send an email either to DSAA, I'll post the link at the end, as well as you can communicate to your lecturer. So there won't be any resubmission if the first assignment has a mark, because then the progress is already at an advanced stage. And also know that even when you are doing your assignments, that plagiarism is not tolerated, it's totally unacceptable, no copying from other students or using Google without acknowledging the source. And when the lecturers are marking, they also look into this. I heard the previous speaker saying that at the regions, they will help you to write academically in order to do proper referencing. So the submission platform, there is my modules for the assignments, and then for my exam for the examination is the My Exam platform, but you will get more information on that at a later stage. Okay, just a few tips. Please register and pay on time so that you can get access to the systems and also to your assignments. Your assignments are on my Unisa as soon as you register. Also, you will get a tutorial later, and also you must plan on your assignments before time, know the due dates and plan around them, and always submit assignments before the deadline, because that will help you to gain a admission to the examination. Also consult your lecturer if you need any further information. And make sure that you get your mark assignment back from my Unisa with your marks. If you didn't get it, please send an inquiry so that you can be assisted. Thank you, students. Thank you, colleagues. Those are our contacts. It's assigned at unisa.ac.za for all assignment-related inquiries, and it's exam inquiries at unisa.ac.za for exam-related inquiries. And you also have our contact center, which is our student support department that will help you with whatever inquiries, whether it's assignment or whether it's examination. If you phone our student support department, they will assist you, our call center. And thank you, colleagues, and thank you, students, for taking time out to come and listen to our presentation. And I wish you the best in your coming learning. And I hope that we as a DSAA will be able to offer support to you as our students, and that we will be able to respond to any inquiries you might have concerning assessments. And colleagues, please forgive me about the noise. I'm in an unfamiliar environment and it was a bit difficult, but I trust that you did hear me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martha. Much appreciated. It wasn't too bad. We didn't really have too much noise from the background, so we also appreciate it from the colleagues on that side as well. So there we go, students. As you can hear, there's quite a lot of information that you guys need to be aware of with exams. I know it's early in the semester, but as you work through the semester, there are going to be workshops, so do attend those workshops, because we've sort of given you an idea of what is coming your way in terms of exams. All right, so next we're going to invite our colleagues from the counseling unit, and they're going to be speaking about accessing counseling and career development services at Unisa. So again, this is short-term, medium-term and long-term planning, things that you're going to need to be able to understand as you plan your life in your studies. So it's very important. So I'm going to invite Ms. Denzel and Mr. Pignani to come and speak to you guys about what they're offering at counseling. Over to you, colleagues.
Thank you, David. A very warm welcome to all of you who are attending the session this afternoon. As I was introduced, my name is Lisa Dazel, and with me I've got my colleague, Mr. Vusumuzi Pignani. And we thought today we will just share with you what we do at Counselling and Career Development, but then also very importantly, looking at some tips that we can share with you about time management, and then also specific tips for Unisa students or distance learning students, and then ending off with sharing with you how you can get counselling and career development support. So Mr. Pignani will be taking us through the first part of our presentation, and then I will take over from him halfway. Thank you, Vusumuzi.
Thank you, Lisa, and good afternoon, colleagues, and good afternoon, students. My name, as is said, I'm Vusumuzi Pignani, the Senior Student Counselor at Directorate for Counselling and Career Development, DCCD. So, as Lisa has already mentioned, she will mention what we do at DCCD. But the important thing for us today is just to talk to you as you begin your journey of studying at Unisa. But before we did, I want to ask you a question and ask yourself a question. Why are you at Unisa? Why are you here? Because that is very important. If you are able to answer that question, then you are able to begin your journey with us. And our job is always to walk with you, to support you, as it's what we call a support. We call it support. What's the word I was calling? We're here to support you and to work with you. But the important thing is, what are you here? Now, I can assume just one thing. Why are you here? You are here because you want to attain, to acquire a particular qualification. You want to graduate. And after graduating, it's a long-term plan that you want to get your job, and then you want to do certain things in what you want to contribute in our country, in the world. That's why you are here. But then, because you are here at Unisa, you need to want to acquire, to obtain your qualification. You need first thing to commit to your studies. That is very important. So you need to commit to your studies, commit to the study process that you are embarking in. So already you are in this process, so we want you to focus on your studies. But it's very important for you to take some time to think about the following questions that you have to ask. Where are you right now in your career, in your studies, in your personal circumstances? You need to reflect where you are so that you can be able to move forward. What do you want? Okay, it's not what do you like. What do you want and what do you need? So you need that qualification. You want that qualification. You don't like to have the qualification. And therefore, because you want that, you need to commit to your studies and you need to move forward. What do you have to get there? What do you have to do for you to get there? Okay, for you to achieve what you want. For you, because we are here to Unisa, to achieve what you want, to achieve what you need. What do you have to do? What do you already have in place that could help you to succeed with your studies? You already have something. You're not coming empty-handed. You're not coming as an empty vessel. You are coming here with something. So look at back. So you have to reflect back and say, in terms of career, where you are, and in terms of your career and studies and personal life, and say, what do I have with me, like your family, the support system that you have, and the rest of the stuff that you have. And the last thing, what do you need to put in place to help you succeed with your studies? Remember, you want to get your qualification. That's my assumption. And therefore, you need to put a kind of a program in place of saying, this is the road. You need to plan. So for me, if I have to move from Pretoria to Durban, I need to plan. Am I using N3? Am I using the Senatron road going inside? Am I using the other road? So I need to plan that before I even get there. And I will know that there will be some obstacles on the road. But okay, grades, there could be an accident, could be anything else. Those things are part of my planning. So what you need to put in place for you to succeed yourself is very important. Next slide, please. And the next thing that you need to commit to, as you say, you need to commit to your studies. So by committing your studies, you need to write down a personal success statement. It's very important. Personal success statement, where you commit to completing your academic year successfully. Okay, it's something that you will always have to reflect back and see. Even when the goal is getting tough, you have to go back to your personal success statement. So a statement could go something like this: it does not matter what happens and how I feel, I'll get through this semester because. Okay, it could be something like this: it does not matter what happens and how I feel, I will get through this semester because of. You have to add that. Next slide, please. The important thing now you have to look at is how are you spending your time. Okay, remember that I said to you, you don't just come here with nothing, you come here with something. And therefore you're coming here, and the one thing that you have is time. And it's very important now to see how you spend your time. See if you can account for a week's worth of your time. So if you're looking at a week, how do you spend your time? For each of the activities, categories that you do, we have to look at the next slide, for example. If we can go to the next slide, this is the slide I'm talking about. So look at for each activity here. Okay, each activity, look for each activity, categorize, list make the best estimate of the time you are spending. How much time you're spending sleeping in a day, and that you can multiply it by 6 or by 7 in a week. For eating, how much time are you spending? Personal hygiene, working, volunteering, shows that you have to do, attending tutorial classes, start to look at your time and saying, how much time do I spend in each activity? Therefore, that will also give you a holistic view of how much time you need to spend. Are you spending more time maybe sleeping? Are you spending more time doing other stuff than what you need to do? Next slide, please. So when you're looking at that, you might be surprised that you are spending a lot of time than you thought just hanging out with friends, or surfing the web, or playing around with Facebook, or any of the many other activities that are not helping you to achieve your goal. Your goal is to complete your qualification, but then you are spending a lot of time hanging out with friends, or surfing the net, or the web, or the Facebook, or whatever. And those things are not contributing towards you achieving your goal. Okay. Secondly, you might find that you study well early in the morning, even though you thought you are a night person. Some people are the best, they're morning people. Okay, some people are night people. So you need to know yourself, whether you're a night person or a morning person. Do you study well at night, or do you study well in the morning? So with that exercise, will give you an idea where you need to put more time. Sometimes, although we all wish to have more time, the important thing is, what do you do with the time you have? Okay, we all want to have more time, but what do you do with the time you have? So time management strategies are very important. That is something that you should have and you should create, so that with the time you have, we all have exactly the same time, 24 hours a day. Okay, and you need to see how I will spend more time doing the things that are important. For example, getting your qualification. Okay. Now look back at the number of hours you wrote in the previous table for a week of study. Do you have 8 hours of study time for each module? So now you need 8 hours of study time for each module. You have that in a day. Okay. To have this study time, you may need to adjust how much time you spend on other activities. If you don't have the 8 hours per day of study, then you need to adjust your the things that you do so that you can have that 8 hours a day of studying. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we have to look at the okay, looking at the children in the year. So you're looking at the end of the year. That's how we are planning. Your plan is not just for now. So we are looking at now, but the ultimate goal is for you in 3 years' time or in 4 years' time to achieve your goal. That's the plan. And therefore, we need to schedule time. You need to commit yourself. You need to commit to your studies. Okay, there's other stuff that will happen in your life, other stuff that will be challenges that you need to navigate, but you always need to commit to your studies. Okay, you need to negotiate with other people in your life. You need to negotiate with yourself. You need to negotiate for that you need to spend more time on your studies than you spend on other activities. So the structures is very important. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. Now this is what we suggest. Okay, we will suggest this, that we suggest to draw up a weekly study plan. Okay, if that works for you. If it doesn't work for you, find something else that works for you. But the suggestion is that you have a weekly study plan so that you are able to work through the study guides. And so I'm saying you have 8 hours per day, can work through the study guide, the lesson, the study unit. You read and study the relevant sections of prescribed books. You are able to incorporate additional material if necessary. You are able to do the assessments on time, and you are prepared for the exams or final assessments, as the presenter has already told you about types of assessments that you have. So these 8 hours you need to per day. Okay, so then you need to multiply that by 5 or by 7 to get per week how much time you need to spend in each module. Okay, now remember this: for a 12 credit module, you will need to spend at least 120 hours working on the module. For a 24 credit module, you will need to spend at least 240 hours working on the module, not per year. Okay, so this is what you will need to do. That's why you then per year. So you need to multiply those hours and get that time. Okay, next slide, please. This is an example of the timetable that we like to share with you. So it's depending on yourself how you want to plan the study to schedule your study planning. So this is what you can do. For example, you have the morning, and then you have the afternoon, then you have the evening. Okay, then you have time to sleep. So, but within them, like for example, if you look at Monday, you need to say I need 8 hours here of study. Okay, and then other stuff will be then scheduled during that time. So you need to know what time you are going to sleep and what time you are waking up and what you need to do. Okay, next slide, please. This is also an example of the 8 hours that you are talking about. If you are doing 10 modules, this is the roster that you can actually use and saying, okay, I have 10 modules, I'm doing M modules, and I'm doing 10 modules. So, for example, in the morning, I have module A and module B, okay, from 8 to 12. Then I have lunch from 12 to 1. After lunch, from 1 to 17 hours, I have module C and D, okay? And this will go up to Friday. And then the Saturday, you say, oh, maybe I need to review on what I've done, and Sunday, you just rest. This is an example that we can share. We are sharing with you. If you're doing 10 modules. Next slide, please. If you're doing 5 modules, for example, in a semester, you're also saying, now, on Monday, from 8 maybe to 4, I'm doing module F. I'm doing module on Tuesday, I'm doing module G. On Wednesday, I'm doing module H. And Thursday, I'm doing module I. And Friday, I'm doing module J. So the whole day, things, you're still going to sleep at 20 hours, okay? And you're waking up at 4 and start studying if you're a morning person. But if you are a night person, when you decide whether you start at 20 hours and you work throughout the whole night, so that you have that 8 hours. But then you separate your time like that. For first semester, you have F, G, and so in each day, you have 1 module. Okay, in the second semester, you might also have exactly the same thing if you have a module. So Monday, module A, Tuesday, module B, Wednesday, module C, and you go like that. So that's the planning for your for particular modules that you do. It's also what I want to say here, which is very important before I give it to my colleague. Important thing that when you study, you need to adopt what we call, some people will know this, a monk mode. Monk are those people who in the Catholic Church, they separate themselves, they leave the world and they go to stay alone. Okay, and they stay alone in a particular community, and then they have particular activities that they do throughout the day, but they are not in the world. So when you study, you need to adopt that monk mode. So when you leave everything in your world, you leave your gadget, you leave your family, you leave your friends, you leave everything behind and go separately to focus on your studies. For that 8 hours is you and your studies. After that, you can come back to the family. So in monk mode actually work because then you're saying, I am physically, psychologically leaving this world and focusing on my study. So you need to adopt that because whatever you do, okay, you're not prioritizing, but whatever you do need to contribute towards you achieving your goal. Okay, should be significant thing that will help you to achieve your goal. I'll give you to my colleague Nels to take over.
Thank you, Vusimusi. So we thought we'll also just share some tips for Unisa students. So it's very important that you start thinking about, if you haven't done so already, to create a designated study space. As Vusimusi has now mentioned, to get into that monk mode, what kind of space do you need? Also to minimize distraction, Vusimusi also mentioned while you are busy studying, really try to minimize distractions from other people, but then also things such as social media, television. If you've got your cell phone, for example, turn it off, find a quiet space, and then also very importantly, communicating with family members about your schedule. Vusimusi also now shared a lot of information with you about establishing a routine. So really aim to have a weekly schedule that you can stick to, and that you can also adjust depending on what it is that you need to prioritize in your life. Then also very importantly, you need to practice self-care. We really do understand that distance learning or even any higher education studies can be quite stressful. So it's very important that you take care of yourself physically and mentally. So those would include things like make sure that you eat well, you exercise regularly, you also get enough sleep, and also think about other activities that you spend your time on. Spend the little time that you have on enjoyable activities. So hobbies, spending time with loved ones, because these will also help you reduce stress and maintain a positive outlook. Then as a Unisa student, it would be very important for you to stay organized. So keep track of your assignments, the deadlines, the readings that you need to do. Find a way that works for you. Do you need to print things out? Can you use a digital calendar? But whatever you use, it should help you to stay on top of your schedule and again to prioritize what is important. Then very importantly, the last or the next to have relationship with each other. You need to be proactive, and part of being proactive is also staying connected. So really don't wait until things have gotten out of control. If you find yourself stuck in terms of your studies, be proactive, seek out resources and the support that you need. Ask questions when you need help. Make sure that you understand your study material before moving on to the next topic. Remember, if you are struggling, other students are also struggling, so don't be afraid of reaching out for additional support, as has been shared with you today as well as yesterday. Then just in terms of counselling career development support, we offer a free and confidential support service. So some of the main things that we help students with is planning and managing your career development, helping you choose a qualification that will prepare you for future career opportunities. Also managing your studies at Unisa, what are the skills that you need to learn? to be a successful Unisa student. We can also support you in terms of dealing with any challenges that may affect your study progress, and then also to prepare for future career opportunities. So this includes developing your graduateness and your employability skills. As was mentioned by one of the previous presentations, Unisa has regional centres across South Africa. So our counsellors are also seated at these different regional centres. So if you prefer face-to-face interaction with our counsellors, we are available at the different regional centres at Unisa. If you would like to contact us, the easiest or fastest way would be to send an email to counselling@unisa.ac.za. We also offer online appointments on Microsoft Teams. So there's also a link that you can use at any time when you would want to have a conversation with one of the counsellors. Please use that link to book an online appointment. Then, as I mentioned, you can contact a counsellor at a regional office to make an appointment for counselling in person. Our website at www.unisa.ac.za/counselling contains a lot of resources that you can also use to help you manage your career, your academic, as well as your personal development. And then on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Unisa Careers, we also publish videos of presentations that we've done over the last couple of years. So again, visit the channel to go and see what kind of resources might be available that we've already addressed in terms of the resources on our website, as well as the YouTube channel. But I think the most important thing to really remember is that anytime when you feel like you need to talk to somebody about your studies, about any of the challenges, but even just sharing with somebody your successes, you're welcome to drop us an email or then make an online appointment. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, students. Thank you, sorry, not thank you, students. Thank you, colleagues from the counselling unit. Really appreciate the information that you've given you. So as students, you can see, it's not just during studies, it's before you study and after your studies that also will apply to your career. So it's very, very important information. So next on the list is, unfortunately, it's Mr. Wright, and he's currently traveling and he's held up at the minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next item, which is the technology enhanced learning, which is basically a whole learning management system, and it's just been upgraded. So hopefully it's going to be such a nice new shiny toy for you guys. And I'm going to call Mr. Ngonile Gaba to come and speak to us about what the technology enhancing learner does and where you can contact these very important individuals on campus. So over to you, Ngonile.
Thank you very much, Richard, and students, colleagues. Welcome to our session today. Okay, so what I was thinking, Richard would have covered the learning management system because I saw him on the program. Then when I saw that, I thought, but anyway, I also have a presentation for that. So I first wanted to just run through the students, what the technology enhanced learning unit is in the university. And I think once I'm done with that, if you allow, Chairperson, then I will do the learning management activity or presentation with them as well. Right, so I am.
Yes, that's perfect. Just run full screen, please. Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Thank you very much. Okay, so students, within the university, we have what we call the Technology Enhanced Learning Unit, and this is found across the university. So in every region, you will notice that at least 2 or 3 of our speakers today did mention and even show you all the regions that we have in South Africa. So our services would basically be around the country for all the students to access. And so this is just to give you an idea of what the purpose of TEL is, and in full, it means the Regional Technology Enhanced Learning Unit. As I said, across the country, we have them, and they are responsible for integrating technology with teaching and learning, and using technology to enhance students' learning experience. So basically, what we are saying in this slide is that we try and take away the fear or phobia that some students have, especially when they start to study at Unisa, because I think by now, with the moves that you've done, you must have learned that Unisa is an online institution. So everything that we do at Unisa will be done through some sort of a technology device. So we are trying to bridge that gap for students who are not comfortable in using technology. Hence, we would offer the service to you within our computer labs at all the regions in the country. So this is just some of the services that we offer within the Technology Enhanced Learning Unit. And one of it is access to computer laboratories. So we are aware that not all of our students have got a computer, their personal computers. So we make in every region a computer lab or a couple of computer labs available that students can come to visit 5 days a week from 8 in the morning, and we usually close at 4 in the afternoons. All these facilities have, like Mr. Kharombi said earlier on, has got what we call UPS or uninterrupted power supply devices in place, which are your, when we have load shedding, then we actually don't run out of power, except that in some regions we may have some network issues and stuff, but most of the services would continue to run. Then we have a facility that is called SmartBoard facilities, and that is usually used to bring the students and the lecturers or tutors and facilitators together remotely. It was used a lot before COVID. Now it's used seldomly for students who don't have, for instance, are struggling with connectivity where they are, or are load shedded, and there's perhaps a tutorial class that is taking place, or whatever kind of workshop that is arranged. And as I think students must know by now, that most of these workshops and tutorial classes are running through what we call Microsoft Teams. So for that category of students, we then make available a venue, which is a SmartBoard venue, and then we run or connect the students with that facilitator or the tutor or even lecturer for the class that should be running. And then from the perspective of the TEL unit, we offer training to our students, and these are mainly computer literacy skills, because we are aware that a lot of our students struggle with technology, struggle with the use of computers. So we try and help you and make you comfortable in at least the first few weeks or month of you being a Unisa student, so that you're able to take on your course through the learning management system, which David Appleset was speaking about just now. We also offer MS Office 365 training to our students. So that's almost, if I must put it to you in simple terms, your Word, Excel, PowerPoint training online, because that allows for collaboration. Since we are a distance institution, and you could have a class or a module that you share with students who are in the various regions. And if you guys use Microsoft Office 365 to do your peer learning sessions together, it allow you and help you guys to collaborate, to work on a document together, irrespective of where your distance is. You can make changes to that and work like that on it. We also have, from the university side, a package that is called Office 365, which is available to students for free. So students are at liberty to install it for themselves through logging into their Outlook accounts, and then you can go to your apps and install it there. If it's a challenge, we offer the service in the labs as well, so you can come to us and we can do the installation for you. Part of the other training sessions that is offered across the country, though the dates may differ, and the format in how it is given is very similar. Then you will have file management, document conversion, because these days your assignments are required to be submitted in a particular format, that is PDF. And I know you would have typed it in a Word version, and we also show you how you can convert to PDF. With regards to MS Teams, there we train our students on how to use MS Teams, because MS Teams is now a center point of delivering teaching and learning to our students. So before you start using it, we also try to help you understand how you must use it and what the rules of MS Teams are, so that you don't disrupt a session when it is in progress, like what we're having on now. In addition to that service, we activate your My Unisa and your My Life email accounts. I think I'll run through this when I do the learning management system presentation. This is where you claim, I saw in some of the comments, person speaking about claiming My Unisa. So this is where you claim your My Unisa account so that you can now access your learning material and start participating on the learning management system, where your assignments will be done and all your exam dates, timetables will be accessible. And how it works is, as soon as you have a My Unisa account activated, then automatically your My Life email account is granted to you, because it will start by your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. They will use the same password as the password you would have received when you registered for your My Unisa account. So yeah, that's what we do around that. And then we have, I did see on the program, there will be a speaker, a person will speak to community digital access centers. So just in brief, with what I will share here, and the rest will be covered by the next presenter, is that we are in partnership with community digital access centers. These are privately owned businesses or computer facilities, or we can call them internet cafes, whatever they call them, where the university goes into a contract with them, mostly in remote areas that are far from a regional service center for students within that vicinity to can have access at no cost to the student, but yes, obviously to the university, which is over about 24 hours in a month. I might have limited information over this now, but I'm not going to dwell too long over it so that I don't take the presentation of the next presenter. In continuing with our services that we offer, we also give technical support to our students. And like I said, where you have challenges with your Office 365 installation, some courses, especially in CSET, would have some software that needs to be installed or upgraded onto your laptops. And some students, because of the technology struggle, are finding it difficult to do that. And that's where we come in to then assist our students. And when you're on our facilities every other day, we might have a connectivity issue with Wi-Fi. Our doors are open there as well to give you the service. The services that we offer to our Oxford students are access to computers with devices that are tailor-made for the particular disability the student has. So here I liked what I saw when Mr. Khorombi was presenting, and I have stolen this from you, Mr. Khorombi, forgive me for that. But because it goes into that much detail, it shows you within Gauteng region where you have regional service centers and Midlands and all the other regions that we have. So it then helps you if you find yourself in the Midlands and you are in Bloemfontein, for instance, then you can easily go there and you can get a service there. And this was just to give you an idea on the digital access centers that are in Gauteng, for instance, but every province or every region will have a digital access center, and they will usually have this kind of information. So I just thought, let me just show you this much. And in terms of accessing the services that we are offering in some or all the regional centers, we have got different links. So this is an example of a link. If you need training, for instance, remote training or online training, then you will go onto this. This is just to show you how our pamphlets will look like when we market the training for our students. This is to show in Gauteng they're starting or have started training on basic computer, basic Microsoft Office from the 11th, and it will be until August the 31st. This will also be where you will make your bookings for the training and technical support service that you do require. So what we're saying to our students is we can give you the service from where you are, or else you can come in physically and then we can help you from here. Right. And because I didn't have much information, this is just an idea of the DLAs or digital learning advisors that you would then find in Gauteng. We are going to publish the list of the rest of the digital learning advisors who are working in the technology enhanced learning unit in our chat section, so that you can have the convenience of their email addresses, names and phone numbers from where you are situated, and you can then make contact with them when you are experiencing or need the services that I have mentioned to you just now. And I thank you very much on that one, Program Director. If I can just unshare and please just get the other presentation up. I didn't have it on since I thought it was going to be covered, if that's okay with you. Just a short moment, please.
Yes, sure, no problem. For students, I have posted in the chat the different links that you can access. I'm just going to quickly show you guys as well. So please, with the add-off side of things, you can see, I'm just trying to see where's my browser disappeared to. I'm just going to quickly share it this way then. So for students, for the Mr. Wright who didn't join us today, unfortunately he's held up on campus, you can go to the add-off website. So it's adovh.unisa.ac.za. And once you get onto the web page, you'll see there is a how to log in page link. So if you click on it, it will show you step by step how to join or log into the system. And then we've got a whole bunch of free courses that you can actually go and access today, so long as you've got your login details sorted. Even if it's not ready yet, in other words, you haven't claimed My Unisa yet, you can still log in, but then you just use the second option, which says you're currently not a student. It's not a big train smash, and then you can still access the courses until you get your My Life working. That's why it's so important to have My Life working. Things like Microsoft 365, guys, there's a detailed course. It will take you through pretty much a lot of the stuff that we're giving you for free and how to get it, how to download it. So it's all in there. Also the My Modules and the basic presentation skills. We've also got Microsoft Word, Power BI, and there's a few other courses. Digital literacy is also quite important. So this website, guys, it's adovh.unisa.ac.za, and you can log in. Here's the top corner, and you simply use your My Life details. If you don't have it, then just select the second option and then just create yourself a little account. So it's not a train smash. But yes, you can access these courses. You can do it self-paced, and there will be training, as the colleague just indicated. In the regions, there's training. There's going to be lots of training happening. So please hit it early, get into those training sessions so that you are totally up to speed with everything that you need to do and get ready for your semester. So once you're ready, colleague, you can continue. Zile?
Thank you very much. Is my presentation showing on your side?
Currently, no.
Okay, let me just put it up again. I guess it should be now showing.
Yes, there we go.
Thank you very much once again. So yeah, Mr. Hapasat was speaking about the Unisa Learning Management System, which is what we call my Unisa, and we mostly will work on what is called my modules, because that's the part that we are mostly interested in, which houses our modules and assignments and stuff. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea of what we will be covering in this presentation. So it gives you an idea of the basic skills in navigating my Unisa, my modules, my exams, and my life. These are very important things for you to start learning now. Hence, we are trying to show you in the event that you may be lost, and that it will help you to go through your course without any problems. Then I spoke to you about the Microsoft 365 productivity ads, which I mean, there's so much that you can do with it. Then we will look at the devices that are required. And so this is just a pre-assessment survey, which I'm actually not even going to go into. It is mostly done before you start as a student, and I think that's done through the MOOC platform, which David was covering now. Now we're looking at the My Unisa bit. In my presentation, I spoke to you about My Unisa and My Life. So what is important for a new student to know is that once you are a registered student, you are asked to register for My Unisa, and the process is almost immediate if your payment is reflecting already on the system. But if it's not yet reflected, or if there's delays on the system itself, then it may take a bit of a while, maybe a couple of hours to a day, before you can actually access your My Unisa account. And like I said, the two are interlinked. As soon as you register for your My Unisa account, the My Life account is assigned to you. As a new student, it will only be available to you within 24 hours, or activated within 24 hours. Then you can start using it. Please pay attention to the example of that email address. It is your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. When you must access your My Life account, the password you will use will be the same as the one that you have used for My Unisa. So this is how our My Unisa is looking like. I know it has changed now. It's about 2 days new. The presentation is still a little bit 3 days old. We had done it before the upgrade, but I don't think you will get lost, because the homepage will still look like what you see here. So this is just to show you how you will access your My Unisa account. Obviously, you will go as the point one there, www.unisa.ac.za, and then it will get you to the homepage, which is what we see there. If you look at the top right of your screen, you'll have My Unisa in small and it's orange. Or if you come to the bottom right of your screen, or middle of your screen, then it will look a bit big, for some of us who can't see nicely, then you can see it in big. So you can click it on any of these two places and it'll get you to this page once you've clicked on it. So now here you will claim, because it's your first time, you will claim your My Unisa account. As you can see, that once I click on claim Unisa login, which is the first step there, I get to this window, which requires for my information. Surname, full names, date of birth, South African ID number or passport. Once you press continue, it gets to the next step, which is your third step, where you need to just do some acknowledgements on some stuff that will appear there, which you were basically saying you are the student and you're giving permission for some of the things there. At your fourth step, you will see something to this effect at the screen at the back there, where you will have this is your third step of it. You make acknowledgements, and the fourth step gives you another screen, which will now say to you, your MyLife email address is your student number at mylife.unisa, and your phone number that is on record will be also listed there, not in full like this, and your password is displayed to you now. And it also gets SMS'd to your phone. So safe is to take that picture immediately, because sometimes the SMS gets delayed, then you don't get the password immediately. So if you've taken the pictures, the screen on the picture on the screen, then you are already able to sign into your MyUnisa account. Another safe way is to write it down and keep it in a safe place where nobody can access it, because we have got a situation where people have been hacked. So please make sure that you do not share your password with anyone. Keep it safe where it cannot be accessed by anyone. Once that is done, you now are able to log in. So you will see the window where you have a username required. It is your student number and not your ID number. The password would be what you would have received just now when you registered by SMS, or the picture that you took of the password which you saw here. Right, and in the event that you forgot your password, the next option is to click on Forgot Password, and then their steps will be similar to what we followed when we claimed the MyUnisa account. A new password will be sent to your account, and you will be able to log into the account again. Now that you have logged into the account, this is your MyUnisa interface. You have my modules. I think 2022 is not even reflected there, or 2023 is not reflected. It will just read my modules. Then you will see my modules 2021, my admin. You are going to work from my modules. And once you click on that, it should give you the modules you are registered for, which is going to show, okay, so if I click on my modules, then it shows me the modules I've registered for, but I need to click it twice for it to become orange. If I click it once, then it becomes orange. The second time I click it, it now will give me a drop-down list of all the modules which I am registered for. This example shows of a student who has one module registered. The module code INF2611-22 means the year in which it was registered for. So in your case, it will show 23-Y means year. So it's a year module. The exams or assessments for this is only at the end of the year. If it is a semester module, it will show S2 because we are now in the second semester. Then you know it's the right module. So if it shows S1, it is from the previous semester. And what is also very important now that we do our exams online is for students to register their profile or put up their profile picture on MyUnisa to help us verify you when you write your exams. So how you do that is when you go, while you're logged into the far right of your top right of your screen, where your name will appear. This is saying demo user, so your name will appear here without a picture. Once I click on the drop-down arrow there, and I come to profile, then it gives me what I see there. All I want to come and change here is my picture. The rest I don't change because the university has that information and they will supply it here. So we will then click on edit profile picture. Once we click on edit profile picture, you will get to this window where you can come to upload your picture. So please make sure you have taken your picture up front so that you can just go find it on your computer or phone when you are looking to upload your picture. right? So there is a picture which we have just uploaded. And next time you sign into your Unisa account, it will give you, the picture will appear by your profile. Right. As you start doing assignments, you're gonna start getting excited and want to know, how am I doing in these assignments that I was asked to submit, right? So there will usually be a start and an end date for you to do the assignment. In the past, it was open from the beginning of the semester. Things have changed now. You need to wait for a certain date before the assignment is made available, be it a written assignment or a MCQ assignment. Only on that particular date will it open and then close on a particular date and time as well. Now, I think what the university is looking to achieve in that, in not making it available to you up front, is to ensure that you start preparing. So you go through your learning material. If they say study chapters 1 to 4, then you start studying 1 to 4. If they open it in August the 15th, on the 15th of August, you know that you are ready to do the assignment because you've gone through the 4 chapters. Say it's now September and you want to see your assignment results, you'll come to grades and firstly choose the module code there or course name, then you go grades, it'll pop up the courses or modules you are registered, assignments you have for that particular module, and that's where you will basically be able to see what your grades are. And you also will have a calendar, which is very important for you. You also must do your own personal or study plan from home. So this is where the university has helped you to see when your assignments are going to due for a particular module. So if you click on its calendar, then it shows you where you have it in red, that a particular quiz must be submitted on the 2nd, another one on the 30th. You start planning around this for you to do your assignments. And I think the counseling people were also trying, and other speakers trying to tell us that we need to make time for studies, and they've worked out something for you to have an idea of how many hours we must make available per module in order for us to be successful in the assignments that we are getting for this for the course. All right, and then here is another sample of your course layout. So when you have clicked on your module, so in this case, we clicked on a module called COVID-19, right? How do you see that? If I look here right underneath the dashboard, it says dashboard, my courses, and then COVID-19. Now the module code, once again, there in orange is COVID-19. It now shows me what it is that I can do and will have to do within this module. I can view my grades like we just looked earlier on. Remember, you can only see your grades once you have submitted an assignment and it has been marked. Then coronavirus here is the course content that is covered. So it shows you in the first week, they will do prevention of COVID-19. That's where you will come in for this module and learn. So the learning materials differ per course. Some modules would have
All right, looks like we might have left, or the colleague might have logged out, or maybe it's load shedding. So unfortunately, but yes, students, please do join the training sessions. As you can see, there's a lot of information that we're giving you guys. And this is the type of thing that we will be doing. We'll be walking you through all the different elements, doing the practicals so that you guys can prepare yourself. So please do go over to the EdOff site, edov.unisa.ac.za, so you can really start accessing those courses, as I said. So without further ado, let's move on to the next speaker. I know we're running a little bit late, but there's so much important information for you. So I'm going to ask Miss Maria Barney to come and speak to us about the digital access centers. What are they? How do I access them? And where can I access them? And you can actually see the very important information that is also going to come from this, especially with coming to regards to computers and internet. We definitely recommend that you be able to access these centers. So over to you, Maria.
Thank you very much, David. I'll share my screen quickly. Please let me know when you can see.
Yes, go for it. Just put it in presentation mode and then you're on your way.
Yes. Thank you very much. My name is Mariam Pobane. I'm coming from the Directorate of Instructional Support and Services, which has a subdivision called the Digital Access Centers. I'm with my colleague, Mr. Manda Shingane, so I'll be presenting about the Digital Access Centers. Thank you very much. So I'll start with my presentations. I'll start by explaining what digital access centers are. So colleagues, the Directorate provides students with widened opportunities for accessing ICTs through contracting establishments within communities that have adequately functioning ICT infrastructures, such as computer facilities, which are referred to as digital access centers. These facilities, they have stable internet facilities, and they include but not limited to printers and photocopies. So the target group for such digital access centers are students who reside in very remote rural areas, which are not at easy reach of Unisa regional centers. So with digital access centers, we provide students with online access and support in various rural areas or disadvantaged urban townships. So the menu of digital access centers, we have the dark hours, the hours that are allocated to the centers monthly. We have the hours that are allocated to students. We have the student sessions. And also we do have the demographics of which include the age, the race, the gender, etc. We do have the services that are offered by digital access centers, which is typing, internet access, photocopy, printing, and scanning. So if it is yellow, it means that it is free at the digital access centers. And if it's blue, if it has a blue dot, it means that there's a fee charged by the digital access centers. Also, before I forget to mention, the digital access centers do have an on-site trained administrator for students. So colleagues, under the strategic plan, the digital access centers fall under pillar number 1, which is advanced technology mediated quality learning and teaching. I can say that this is an umbrella term incorporating different approaches to using learning and teaching. And as we know that Unisa is a CODEL, which it means comprehensive, open, and distance e-learning. This pillar serves to support students in remote areas to have free access to internet and computers as they cannot reach the university. And we also fall under pillar number 4, which is strengthening student support services, which we strengthen the support to ensure that all students in their respective areas, they receive the best learning experience, regardless of where you are situated, where you reside. Unisa, the digital access centers of Unisa, they help students to reach the internet access so that they can have a better learning experience. So this picture, in this picture, we display of what you can expect when you go to visit the digital access centers. The lady standing is the administrator, and those are students using the computers. And also this picture, so you do have a chair that is comfortable in the digital access centers, fast internet speed. Also, so here I'll be touching on the evolution of the digital access centers, which is the gradual development of digital access centers over the years. So colleagues, we started with multi-purpose community centers or service centers in the year 1992 or 2000, and we migrated to using schools, libraries, and NGOs. So we are now using internet cafes for the digital access centers, and we hope in the next coming years we will be hybrid. And then the digital access centers are situated in different regions, which are 5 regions. We do have the digital access centers in KZN, in Gauteng, in Limpopo, in Eastern Cape and Free State. So in KZN, we have 5 digital access centers. In Gauteng, we also have 5 digital access centers. In Limpopo, we have 4 digital access centers. In Free State, we have 3 digital access centers. And in Eastern Cape, we have 1 digital access center. So currently, it amounts to 19 digital access centers in operation across the country. I will not tap this link, so you can access the digital access centers using this link. So the future forging ahead we are in the process of acquiring more digital access centers. Our aim is to acquire 100 digital access centers through the expression of interest. We hope that we will nail that number so that we can give our students the best service. So the menu of services that the digital access centers offer, we have typing, which is free at the digital access center. So if a student goes to the digital access center and they want to type an assignment, it is free of charge. So they do not charge for typing assignments. We also have internet access, which is free. So the students can log on their internet access, but I forgot to mention, colleagues, only Unisa registered students can use the digital access centers because they are made for Unisa students. So if you're Unisa students and you have just recently registered in the 2nd semester, you don't have a laptop or smartphone, you can go to the nearest digital access center in your area, and then you can have free internet access. You can type assignments. We have photocopies at a free charge by the digital access center. Printing, they do charge. Scanning, they also do charge. And we'll also have an on-site trained administrator. So these administrators are trained to help Unisa students, especially first years, on they will help them on how to log in on My Unisa, on how to use Moodle, on how to participate in discussion forums. And then also we have the digital centers are allocated 1,000 hours in a month. So if it happens that the digital access centers exceeds the 1,000 hours, they will just request from us and we will extend the hours for them. And then where can you find the digital access centers? On social media, we have our DAX web page. You can just type digital access centers or on My Unisa under support. Yes, there is digital access centers. They are listed with the location, the contact numbers of the administrators and managers. And we do send SMSs to students to let them know that digital access centers are in operation and they can go visit them with their location. We are also on social media. And if there are new students who are attending the orientations for the first time, I hope today they know that we do have digital access centers for students who are far from the university, who cannot access the university. And then in conclusion, colleagues, I have come to the end of my presentation. If you wish to move more mountains tomorrow, you must begin by moving stones today, which from my idea, it means that we all start somewhere and we all start small. So thank you very much, colleagues. For the new registered students, you can access digital access centers on the internet under My Unisa. We do have our list that has the location, the numbers. You can also call the administrators. They will let you know where the digital access centers are. The tax list also has the operational time. You can even visit the digital access centers during weekends. You can even make a request if you want to visit the center. If, let's say, you are a working student, you can make a request to visit the center after their normal working hours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you so much for that information, unpacking everything to do with digital access centers. So students, if you're staying in an area and you might have a center near you, then you've just seen all the benefits that you can actually get. So definitely look out for them. Go and check on my Unisa, see if there's something closer than maybe the campus that you're nearest to. And then, of course, you've got free access. And I mean, that's brilliant. Really appreciate that from Maria and her team. So last in the program, guys, is also very important, is how do we contact Unisa? How do I get in contact with Unisa? And I'm going to bring to the floor Ms. Jessica Safolo, who's going to speak to us about how to contact Unisa. Over to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Richard. Good afternoon, our dear students, and welcome to Unisa for the students that are joining us for the first time. Just struggling here for the first time. I'm trying to share and everything just hung, but I am almost there. Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Jessie Sifulu. I am the Deputy Director for the Contact Center. This is the environment that assists you as our student when you need help and support as a registered student or a potential student for Unisa. Our role and purpose is to be there for you, to take your inquiries, guide you for the not so complex queries, get resolved within the contact center. And we support the whole student walk, so you don't have to call elsewhere when you are having challenges. You call the contact center. You will be supported from your application right up to the graduation matters and your completion letters and so forth and so on. We receive quite a lot of inquiries in the contact center, but please note that our number, the 0800 number, is a toll-free number. So on the days and the months where we have high volumes, like during the application and the registration period, please bear with us. We do extend our operating hours from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock at night, and hoping that if all goes well, we will be available to support you from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock Monday to Friday from 1 August. But it's still in the planning phase. We are hoping to launch those extended hours. So you can reach us out on the 0800 number. We also have our mailbox, which is Enquire. This is for general inquiries. When you looking for any support, you email this Enquire email address. We also have a mailbox that is called Data Inquiries. This email deals only with inquiries of data. You haven't received your monthly data, or you have a challenge with the data allocation. This is the email box that you contact us on. We have a My Module 2022. These are module-related inquiries that are coming here, and your My Life support goes into this mailbox. We also have exam inquiries. This is also specifically just deals with our exam inquiries. The reason we have ring-fenced these, it's so that during your exam period, you are prioritized. Your My Module, during your assignments and so forth, you are prioritized. You don't run out in the other inquiries, because we receive on our busiest and our peak period, we can receive up to 120,000 inquiries a month. So we have ring-fenced these ones for you to be able to be prioritized when you're writing your exams or during your assignment periods. We're also available on the corporate page on Facebook and Twitter. You can DM us. You come through to the contact center on those pages. We also have our bubble for chat on the internet on the page internet page of Unisa. We have a bubble there on my live portal. You can chat to us there. We are available via web chat for our corporate pages. It is very important that when you're contacting us, you make sure that you put your student number if you are not yet fully registered and claimed your My Life account, because under normal circumstances, when you're sending us with your My Life account, your student number is registered there. Give us your student number, give us your contact details on how to reach out to you should we need to contact you. Give us a full description of your problem, including a print screen of your error if you have, and request a case number when you're calling the 800 number. Do not put the phone down before a consultant give you a case number, because that case number assists you to as reference when you are escalating your matter and saying, I've been waiting for 24 hours or 48 hours, no one has gotten back to me. You use that case number to be assisted. You don't have to create a new one. For your email, a case number is automatically created. And please note that when you are contacting the contact center, do not allow anyone to refer you elsewhere. Once you've reached the contact center, we take your inquiry, we attempt to resolve it, failing which we've got a team that deals with escalation so that you don't have to contact multiple departments. That team will deal with your escalation, track it and trace it until completion and provide feedback to you. Refuse to be told by a consultant that you must phone graduations or you must phone any other number. Once you have called us on the 0800 number, this is where you will get the help. On the next slide, I just wanted to show you the call flow on how we prioritize you. When you're calling us, you will get a welcome message and you will be given options. You need to listen carefully to those options, especially during your exam period, so that you are directed to where you will get urgent help. The skill set, according to the options, it's for how the people that are behind that option have been trained to assist you with the inquiry that you're coming through. So it's very important that you listen to the prompts before you don't just choose, because you will end up in general inquiries, and general inquiries probably have high volumes and you wait there for your assistance longer than necessary. So when you're calling the 0800 number, listen to the prompts for you to be ring-fenced into the problem that you want to be assisted with. We also have in the next slide, we have our escalation points. These escalations means you have contacted the 0800 number. It means you already been allocated a case number. Then you can follow through. We've got the supervisors as your first point of escalation. You also have the line managers as your second point of escalation, and you have myself. All our email addresses are provided there for us to be able to assist you with an escalation, but you need to make sure that you have already raised a case number and put your case number in the subject line so that they are aware that you are escalating the matter. It has already been dealt with within the contact center. Happy starting with Unisa. We welcome you. Thank you very much. I'll pause there, Chair.
Thank you so much, Jessie. And there we go, students. You've heard it. There is a call center, how the call center operates. So please follow the instructions as we've just given it to you. You have your rights. We told you what you can do and demand. So yes, so thank you so much for that, Jessie. It's very, very good to hear that we've got dedicated staff that are there to help you guys. So students, as we wrap up for this orientation of the last 2 days, please also do go visit your campus, your nearest campus, and go visit the student retention unit, the student the SRC, Student Representative Council, and why are they there? What do they do? So please go and find out from these guys. They are there to also assist you with your studies and any issues that you're experiencing, and they're really willing and able to help you as well. So please do go look at them as well. And that brings us to the end of our session. So please do all the best with your studies, but please do go check on my Unisa, the announcements page, and see what training is coming up, what events are coming up, get involved, make sure that this year is successful, or the rest of this year, and the ball really is in your court. We are here, we're willing to help you guys, and just a big thank you to Sophie Mavaso with all her sign language that she's doing for the last 2 and a bit hours. She's always willing and able to help us. We really appreciate that, Sophie, and the rest of the team and all the presenters, Godfrey and the technical team in the background, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I wish you guys all the best with your studies. Thanks, guys. All right, there we go, colleagues. Thank you so much. Whew, what a hectic 2 days.
Thank you, program.